Ladies and gentlemen, who has entered the shallow walls of the Hall of Shame this week on Cool Radio? Who has been crowned the captain of coonery? Ladies and gentlemen, it gets real here. It gets real.
He said it.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is time for the Wanksta of the Week. Now, this week's Wanksta of the Week, this one hurts me a little bit because, I like to be impartial when I give out the Wankstas, and I call a spade for a spade. And with that being said, I hate that it had to happen to this gentleman, but I gotta give him the W on this one. I'm not talking about a win neither. This week's Wanksta of the Week goes to none other than Snoopy Dio Double Jizzle for Shizzle on Nizzle.
No.
Snoop Dogg, you're getting that Wanksta, man. I'm sorry. Now you're probably asking yourselves, why is this man getting the Wanksta?
I know why.
Well, he is getting the Wanksta because of some comments that he made to a CBC employee during his time here in Canada. Now, I'm going to paint the picture for you, okay? So basically, he was in Nova Scotia filming for, an episode of Trailer Park Boys, which I did not know they still made, by the way.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Right? But he was filming for an episode of Trailer Park Boys. And I guess he was making a guest cameo or something to that extent. Now, during the filming, he was interviewed by CBC reporter Elizabeth McMillan, during which he made, sexist comments towards the CBC camerawoman filming the interview. Now, this is what Snoop said, and I quote, "I like your camera girl too. She thick. Damn, I wasn't even looking down. Now I'm forced to look at the camera. Look at the shit on that critter." Okay. Now, obviously, the camerawoman did not like those comments, and she later said, and I quote, "It was creepy and awkward, but I just laughed it off. Then later on, I realized, why does he get a free pass because he's a rapper?" Now, I'm going to say this. For Snoop to say that, he's from a certain culture, okay? And I'm not talking about race or anything like that. I'm talking like social culture. Now, in some social cultures, you can make a comment like that towards a woman or something to that extent and not have that woman not be offended by it. I get it. There's some women who are praised upon like their curvaceous bodies and what have you. And when they are called thick, some of them, they take it as a compliment. So I think Snoop was still in that mode, in that mindset when he was commenting on that woman's physique. However, in Canada, let's just be honest, in white Canada, you cannot be making those comments about women at all. I mean, we were just talking about Action Bronson being banned from being a headliner because of some suggestive lyrics that he made towards women. So him coming with a full-out statement saying, "Damn, this girl thick as hell," and it's a camera woman at that, someone who works for a CBC, someone who works for a conglomerate, a corporation that is one of the biggest in Canada. You can't be doing that, Snoop. You're not hanging out with Bishop Don Juan. You're not at Floyd Mayweather's after show after he beat Pacquiao. And you're definitely not on the set of one of your rap videos, man. You are at a building or an office profession that is catered to broadcasting Canadian content, all right? You are not in your own element. You are in someone else's element. You can't be calling the camera girl thick or whatever. Thank God you didn't call the reporter thick. Or God help your soul, who knows what would have happened. You would have had your marijuana license revoked in Canada. And we're trying to legalize that. So imagine what the repercussions would have been. All I'm saying is this, Snoop. I know you're from the culture where that's deemed acceptable, but you got to know when you are in a certain area that certain things cannot be said. This is like you hanging out with all your black friends, but then you have that one white friend and you want to say, "What up, my," but you can't say it because then you don't want to give this guy clearance to say it. It's kind of like that. You got to have that in your mindset, Snoop. So as much as I love your charisma and your personality, I love what you do with GCN. That stuff is hilarious. And I didn't even know you were filming for an episode of Trailer Park Boys, so good on you. But with that being said, you just can't make those statements all the time. And that was a perfect situation of wrong place and wrong time. And you got to have the presence in mind of knowing when and when not to say those things. I don't know if you were smoking or not, but whether you were or not, I can't even give you the pass on that, homie. So with that being said, right? With that being said, I got to give you this Wanksta. Do you deserve this Wanksta? Unfortunately, of course you do. So with that being said, let's drop that Wanksta on him one more time.
Say you a Wanksta, and you need to stop.